Give me 20 minutes. By the end, you will have a real working thing inside Claude Code that does a job for you every week in the time it takes to make tea. You will not write a line of code. You will write 4 sentences in plain English, save them in a folder on your computer, and watch the computer do the rest. 20 minutes from now, you will not be the person who watches videos about Claude Code. You will be the person who built one. I am going to walk you through it minute by minute. Minute 1, you open the tool. Minute 4, you see the format. Minute 8, you write your first instructions. Minute 12, you run it. Minute 17, you fix the one thing that came out wrong and watch it work the second time. Minute 20, the file is saved on your machine. The next Saturday morning, you type the name of your skill and 90 minutes of weekly work disappears. Most of what is online about Claude Code is for people who already write code, and most of it takes an hour you do not have. The promise here is smaller and honest. 1 folder, 1 file, 4 sentences, 1 real working skill, 20 minutes. Let us start the timer. Here is the picture before any details, so you know what we are walking toward. Claude Code is a small program made by the company Anthropic, the same company that makes Claude, the chatbot you might already use on the website. Claude Code is different from the chatbot in one specific way. The chatbot lives on a website and only knows what you paste into it. Claude Code lives on your own computer in a window called the terminal, and it can read your files, run small programs, and do things on your machine that the website chatbot cannot. The thing we are going to build inside Claude Code is called a skill. A skill is a recipe card written in plain English that you save in a folder. The next time you ask Claude Code to do that job, it reads the recipe and follows it, exactly the same way every time. Anthropic puts it like this in their own documentation. A skill is a skill.md file with instructions, and Claude adds it to its toolkit. That is the whole picture. A skill is a folder with one text file inside it, and the text file has 2 parts. A tiny header that says what the skill is called. A few sentences underneath that tell Claude what to do. There is no code in it. There is no setup. There is no API key beyond the one you paid $20 for. The skill is the artifact. By minute 20, the artifact is on your machine and it works. The wrong picture most people walk in with is this. They think Claude Code is a thing you have to learn to code to use. They open a tutorial, the first screen is full of words like terminal and npm and frontmatter and allowed tools. Somewhere on minute 3, the person teaching says install node and the viewer closes the tab. They do not come back. That is the trap. Claude Code is for the person who has a recurring task they would like to stop doing by hand. The job of writing code in the small amount it takes to make a skill has already been done for you. Anthropic wrote the program, the community wrote the format. What is left for you is the part no one else can do, which is describing in your own words the work you actually do. The other wrong picture is the time. The Anthropic documentation walks through a beginner skill in 3 steps and finishes in under 5 minutes. A writer named Adam Faik built his first useful skill in 30 minutes, including downloading a working example to start from. 20 minutes is the comfortable middle with room to breathe, ask one question, and fix one mistake. The right picture is a recipe card. You write the recipe once, you save it. The kitchen runs the recipe every time you ask. You did not learn to cook, you wrote down what you wanted. Here is the one idea, named clearly. You do not code with Claude Code, you instruct it. The skill you are about to build is not a program, it is a paragraph in your own words saved in a folder that Claude Code reads every time you ask for the thing it describes. The shift you are about to feel is small but real, from person who consumes AI tools to person who instructs them. 1 folder, 1 file, 4 sentences, 20 minutes. Now the walk, 20 minutes, beat by beat. The example I am picking works whether you run a small practice, a side business, a freelance gig, a one-person shop, or you are just the person on your team who writes the weekly recap nobody asked you to write. It is the Friday brief. Every Friday afternoon around 5 o'clock, you sit down to write a short note that says what got done this week, what is still open, and what you have to start with on Monday. You probably spend an hour on it, some Fridays, an hour and a half. We are going to make that into a 4-second job. Minute 1. Open Claude Code. If you are on a Mac or Linux laptop, open the application called Terminal. It is the black window program with white text. Do not be scared of it. The terminal is just a way to type instructions to your computer one line at a time, the way you would type a text message but to your own machine instead of a friend. Once it is open, you go to the website claude.com/pricing. The Pro plan is $20 a month. Sign up. Then back in the terminal, paste in this one line. npm space install space -g space at signanthropic-ai/claude-code. Press return. Wait 30 seconds. Then type the word Claude. Press return. The terminal asks you to log in through your browser. You log in. You are now inside Claude Code. 2.5 minutes have passed. Minute 4. Look at the format of a skill before you write yours. 2 parts. The header, written between 2 lines of 3 dashes with only 2 things in it. A line that says name, colon, and the name of your skill. A line that says description, colon, and 1 sentence that tells Claude when to use this skill. The second part is the body. The instructions you would give to a thoughtful assistant who has never met you. No code, no special syntax, just sentences in your own voice. Anthropic's own documentation puts it like this. Every skill needs a skill.md file with 2 parts. A header that tells Claude when to use the skill and instructions Claude follows when the skill runs. That is the whole format. Minute 5. Make the folder. In the terminal, type mkdir space -p space ~dot Claude/skills/Friday brief. The tilde is the squiggle on your keyboard above the number key on the left. The dot before Claude is what makes the folder a configuration folder, the kind your computer hides by default. You just made a folder on your home directory in a hidden place where Claude Code knows to look. 2 seconds. Minute 6. Make the file. Still in the terminal, type the word touch space ~dot Claude/skills/Friday brief/skill.md. Press return. You just made an empty text file inside the folder. 2 more seconds. Minute 7. Open that file in any text editor you already use. TextEdit on a Mac. Notepad on Windows. VS Code if you have it. Open the file Friday brief/skill.md. The file is empty. You are looking at a blank page. Minute 8. Write the header. 3 lines. Type 3 dashes on the first line by themselves. On the second line, type name, colon, space, Friday brief. On the third line, type description, colon, space, then 1 sentence that says when to use this skill. Mine reads like this. Pull together a Friday brief from the notes I dropped in my notes folder this week. Use when I ask for a Friday brief, a weekly status, or a Monday recap. Then on the 4th line, 3 dashes again by themselves. The header is done. 40 seconds of typing. Minute 10. Write the body. Hit return twice. Now write the instructions in your own words the way you would brief a smart assistant. Mine reads like this. Read every note file in the notes folder on my desktop that has this week's date in the name or that I changed in the last 7 days. Group them by client name or by project name. Look for the word client, colon, or the word project, colon, near the top of each note. For each group, write 3 short sentences. What got done this week? What is still open? What is blocked or waiting on someone else? Output the result as a single email-ready paragraph for each group. Use a calm conversational tone. Do not invent anything that is not in the notes. That is the whole body, about 60 words. Save the file. Close the editor. 12 minutes have now passed. 8 minutes left. Minute 13. Run it. Back in the terminal with Claude Code still open, type /Friday brief. Press return. Watch what happens. Claude Code reads your skill, sees the instructions, and goes to work. It opens your notes folder, it reads the files, it groups them, it writes the brief. The first time, it takes about 30 seconds to a minute. The brief lands on your screen. Minute 15. Read what came out. The first run will not be perfect. That is normal. That is the most important sentence in this video. The first run is never perfect. Mine had a problem. Two of my no's did not have a client name at the top, just a project name with no label, so Claude Code put them in a bucket called ungrouped. Useful, but not what I wanted. I want every project filed with a client. Minute 17. Fix the skill, not the output. This is the move that separates the people who try Claude Code once and the people who keep it. You do not edit the brief, you edit the skill.md file. Open it again. In the body, after the line about looking for client and project labels, add one more sentence. If a node has a project name but no client name, ask me which client this project belongs to before grouping. Save, close. Minute 18, run it again, type /Friday brief, press return. This time, Claude Code stops at one point and asks me, the project named Q3 launch has no client label. Which client does this belong to? I type the client name, Claude Code finishes the brief, the ungrouped bucket is gone. Every project is filed under the right client, the brief is clean. Minute 20. Stop and notice what just happened. There is a file on your computer in a folder called .claude/skills/Friday brief that did not exist 20 minutes ago. That file does a job for you. The next Friday afternoon, you will not spend an hour writing a brief by hand. You will type /Friday brief and the brief will land in 20 seconds. You will read it, edit one or two sentences in your own voice and send it. 85 minutes of your Friday will be back. The thing you just built is yours. You wrote the description, you wrote the instructions, you picked the 4 sentences. Claude Code is the engine, the recipe is yours. That is the difference between using a tool and instructing one. You instruct. Now the honest part, where 20 minutes runs out and where the skill you just built does not reach. We did not connect Claude Code to anything outside your computer. There is a whole world of features called MCP, short for Model Context Protocol, that lets Claude Code reach into your Gmail, calendar, Slack, project tracker, and pull data live. We did not touch any of that. The skill you just built reads the files on your laptop, nothing more. The first build has to live entirely on your machine where nothing can break before you start adding doors to other apps. We also did not cover hooks, subagents, or plugins. Hooks are small scripts that run automatically before or after Claude does something. Subagents are smaller helpers that work on pieces of a bigger task. Plugins are how you share a skill with a team. All real, all in the documentation, none of them belong in your first 20 minutes. They belong in your second month. Where the skill you built today is the wrong answer. If your work crosses 5 apps and a website and finishes by clicking through a checkout, this skill cannot do that. The skill we built reads files in one folder and writes a paragraph. Small is the point. And if your work changes shape every week, a skill is the wrong tool. Skills are for recurring jobs. The Friday brief works because next Friday and the Friday after, the job is the same shape. Last honest note, the first skill you write will not be the best skill you write. The 5th one will be sharper. The 10th one will feel obvious. The way you get to the 10th one is by writing the first one this Saturday and adding a sentence to the file every Friday when something is missing. The skill compounds. Your effort does not. Here is what you do this Saturday. One thing in order that takes the 20 minutes you just watched and turns it into a working skill on your machine. Pick the recurring weekly job you would most like to stop doing by hand. The Friday brief I walked through. The Monday morning email to your team. The Sunday night roundup. The weekly status note to your biggest client. One job, write 3 sentences about it on paper. What do you read? What do you produce? Where does it land? Then sit down at your laptop, go to claude.com/pricing, pick the Pro plan, sign up, open the terminal, paste in the install line, type Claude, log in, you are inside. Make the folder mkdir-p /.claude/skills/ then a one-word name for your job. Make the file. Touch the same path /skill.md, open the file, write the 3-line header, name, description, 3 dashes top and bottom, then write the body in your own words the way you would brief a smart assistant, save, close, back in Claude Code, type / and the name of your skill. Watch it run. Find the one thing that came out wrong, open the file, add one sentence to the body that fixes that thing, save, run again. Better. By Saturday lunch, you will have a working skill that does a job for you. The first one will be small. The first one will not be perfect. The first one is supposed to exist. Once it exists, the skill compounds, one Friday at a time. What you will remember a month from now is the Friday afternoon you typed /Friday brief and got back the 90 minutes you used to spend writing the brief by hand. That is the moment the shift becomes real. You stopped being someone who watches AI videos. You started being someone who instructs the tool to do work for you. One folder, one file, 4 sentences. That is the whole shift. If you want the first skill in 20 minutes starter pack, comment build below and I will send it to you. The pack has the minute-by-minute checklist, a fill-in-the-blank skill.md template you can copy line for line, 3 example skills I have already written, and the honest list of what 20 minutes does not cover. It is also pinned in the free community I run, Agent Skills Academy. Every week members post the first skill they wrote and we share what each one actually does. Link in the description. What is the one weekly job you would most like to stop doing by hand? Tell me in one line below. I read every comment and the most common one becomes next Saturday's walked example.